Has Chrissy Pooh Watts been whisked away into the night and transferred to another prison? And was Nicole Kessinger really spotted at a funeral? Another YouTube video claims to have seen her in her dirty, beat up silver truck. Well, hi, my loves. Welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy. Today, we are diving deep into the internet to uncover the truth behind the latest Watts family stories and bring you the latest updates. Stay tuned for some very interesting details that I've uncovered. I'm going to roll some credits while we wait for the rest of the Watts Island boaters to arrive. Special shout out to my replay crew and my dragonflies. How do, boaters?
Devil is drumming his old guitar again. Words rolling out into our fire. If heaven had wings, I would steal them and fly away with you for a while. Hearing the essence of gratitude, your dreamy little smile on my lips. I miss my cue, but baby, I had you. Miss my cue, but I had you for that day.
Hello, here in the essence of gratitude. I am so happy to be back here with my power crew today. How's everyone doing? Hold on one second. Let me get my screen situated. Okay, there we go. How's everyone doing today? Happy Friday. I cannot get this Watts Island out of my mind, all this new information happening. It's almost like the case has gotten a new legs for me. So I wanted to go over some of the things that we weren't able to go too in depth on our last live. We were having some audio problems, so I just wanted to go over it again. Oh my gosh, your first live? Well, welcome. Oops. Well, I meant to hit click here on what is that? Obviously, Harry fan. Welcome, and welcome, Bubbles. Oh, you got a membership? Welcome to the Dragonfly membership. So glad you got a membership. The Dragonfly is the membership program that we have over on YouTube. It's $2.99 a month. We're going to talk about it a little later in the night, the day. Forget that it's only 2:00 in the afternoon. I've been not sleeping very well, so I've been up since 4 a.m. So I feel like it should be like 6 in the evening by now, but it's not. It's not. But yes, welcome to the Dragonflies and welcome to Parawomenradio, your first ever live. I'm so happy to have you here. You're going to switch devices? Okay, sounds good. But before we get in, if we could just start that algorithm dance party that I like to do, just start warming up your fingers and dancing them right up to the hearts and thumbs up button. Helps us go out into the algorithm, party out there, bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help me out, and it's really, really appreciated. Let me get my screen. That's not what I wanted. I did want to talk to you about something really quick before we go into this. I have a bone to pick with you guys, my friends, the people that I adore the most in this world. Over in our audience, I went in audience or YouTube has this back studio that we can go in and we can kind of look at and see how our videos are doing with the audience. And I can even check and see when my subscribers are online the most, all that good stuff. But if you come down here in this watch time from subscribers, not subscribed, 79.8% of you are not subscribed. And I have to tell you, it's a little embarrassing to me. I wonder, why aren't you subscribed? And maybe you don't know you're not subscribed, and maybe you do want to subscribe. So here's my gentle reminder that why not subscribe? It's a free way to help me out. And if you don't like me, you can just hit that unsubscribe button and be on your way. I promise you, I am a relatively, I don't usually bite. So. And I also am very excited to see here that 41% of you guys are watching me on your TV, which when I make my videos, I do try to make it for the bigger screen because I like all the bright colors. And yeah, but we do have on our last few days, 2,402 of you are returning viewers, not subscribers, returning viewers, and new viewers, we got 660. So welcome to all of you. And yeah, that's my bone to pick. All right, let's get going. So in the last live that we did, it was brought to my attention that people were thinking that Chris Watts was perhaps transferred to a different facility, to a different prison. So I went on that quest today, and I'm going to bring you the information that I found. I also found some more information about Nichol Kessinger and where she's possibly been hiding. There was another, I think she is a YouTuber, but I found it over on Rumble, the video of her old beat up truck. And we're going to take a look at that. So hello, Crystal Burns. It's good to see you. Okay. So let me see what I have up on the screen. All right, here we go. I thought we would take a look at the first time Chris Watts was transferred. This was back in 2018. We're going to kind of build into the case. And I'm just assuming that everybody knows what I'm talking about. This is the Chris Watts case. He unalived his pregnant wife and two daughters back in August of 2018. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He was in the Colorado prison, wasn't faring too well there, was getting air trays and just really being taunted. And so they decided to move him. And this is the news report that we got when he was first moved.
New this morning, the case of a couple.
So what we do here is we're going to take a look at a lot of videos today. We won't usually watch everything in its entirety. I will stop and start things. But I will put everything that we view down in the YouTube show notes. We do this for fair play use, and we also do it to cite our sources. So.
Colorado man killing his pregnant wife and family made national news, and now that man may be spending the rest of his life in a Wisconsin prison.
Overnight, media reports said that Christopher Watts was moved to a prison in Wisconsin. And our Sean Gallagher has been.
I didn't hear her voice, but we are going to go more in depth with the funeral video. And we're going to look at, there's this video of her truck sitting outside of a house. We're going to take a look at that as well. We're going to dive into, was Chris Watts transferred from prison? But this is the first transfer. I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think he's been transferred, but I'm going to take you on the journey.
And working overnight to get more information, and joins us live in the studio. And Sean, what have you been able to find out?
Yeah, Susan and Vince, if this name sounds familiar, here's some background on Chris Watts. He was convicted of killing his pregnant wife and two young daughters back in August. He eventually confessed to police and took a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. He got life in prison, and we've done some digging to confirm this ourselves overnight. No one from the State Department of Corrections will confirm, but we found this online. Through the Wisconsin Department of Corrections website, there is a link where you can send money to inmates. We found Chris Watts with the same date of birth listed on the Wisconsin DOC commissary listing. The site only lists Watts as in the Department of Corrections. The statement from the DOC says the Department of Corrections is not confirming the location or disclosing the identity of inmates who may have been transferred to Wisconsin under the Interstate Corrections Compact.
New video.
Okay, so this is a daytime live, and I've got a little bird in the house, so he is flying around. And what happens usually is I try to mute it when he screams, and then I forget I mute it. So I am sorry if that happens today. I'm flying solo. We don't have any mods today, so please bear with me if I do that. I hate when I do it, but okay. So that video that I was looking at helped me out
New this morning,
doing my research. So it sent me on the journey over to the Wisconsin DOC, and I was just trying to see. I put in Chris Watts's name, and I can't find him. He's, I mean, other people have come up to the same problem where he's not being listed. And so when you go in and you do your research, you can't find them. But I did notice, I was looking at this and I saw here that they now have tablet services. The Wisconsin Department of Corrections is partnering with ICS Solutions to provide tablet services to prisons and care. DOC is gradually making the transition to the ICS tablet at a few sites each month. Please discontinue purchasing Advanced Technology Group ATG tablets as we prepare for this transition. So then I went over to this ICS Solutions. Hold on. Yeah. This ICS Solutions, because I was just curious to see how much it would even be to contact him. Looks like phone calls on this thing are $6 per minute for domestic calls. International call rates may be vary per country. Messages are 15 cents after the resident sends 3 weekly messages. E-cards are 15 cents per e-card. Print messages, 25 cents per black white message. And then a print photo is 65 cents per color printing. Friend and family communications are 15 cents per message. Photos are 15 cents per photo, and e-cards are 15 cents per e-card. And then these are all the things that he can do on the tablet. He will be able to make phone calls, contacts. This is assuming he's still in Wisconsin. Messaging, photo gallery app, tablet help, dictionary, calculator, account info, document and facility info, basic app access, pass. There's basic games, books, music, wellness, and classic movies. Times out after 30 days. If the 500 minutes are used within the 30-day period, another basic access pass may be purchased. He can do standard profile, premium profile. What's in the premium? Content includes premium movies, film and TV, VP sports, Stingray music streaming, VP arcade games. There's a law library access, ebooks. That, you know what, you guys, if I would ever to go to prison, I would make sure that I would study law. I would make myself useful in prison by becoming the person that knows all about the legal system. Hold on, I gotta clean my glasses. I got a bunch of splotches on. Hold on one second. Have you guys ever thought about that kind of stuff? Like, if you had to go to prison, what would you do to survive? What would be your special thing that you could do to earn money and survive and whatnot? I think it was a mix-up as Scott Peterson was moved, apparently. Yeah, we're going to get into it. We've got some Reddit stuff we're going to look at. There's some other YouTubers that deep dove into it, and we're going to look at that. But this just took me on a whole journey of trying to see if Chris Watts was even in this system. So then it took me over to the Securus Technology, the site that is handling the tablets. And I don't think Chris's facility is one of the facilities that has rolled out the tablets yet, because I just don't see it here. I clicked on each one of them before we went live, and there are no matches. So then when, that in the beginning of the live, we watched when he was first transferred, and that news station said that they went in to the DC corrections and they did it through commissary. So I thought, well, what happens if I go in and I try to send Chris Watts some, commissary, or send him some money? Would it let me send him money? I was not going to send him money, you guys. I was just going to see how far it could take me. And so the Access Communicate Corrections, this is how you send them money. And so I signed up, and I went in to try to send money, and it does. I assumed that it was this Wisconsin Department of Corrections. Now, I don't know Chris Watts's ID. I don't know. Does anyone know Chris? I mean, I'm sure his parents know his ID, but has that been put out on the internet? I don't think it has. But if you go into, he's not there. So that's a fail as well. You'd be the biggest gal's girlfriend. I think they're called studs. You'd find yourself a stud. That's a good plan. Get some protection. I also would make sure to start working out. I would be one of the people that works out and does that kind of stuff. So I was unable to find anything about Chris Watts at Dodge Correctional. I did find this site, which I thought was interesting. It was called Inmate Help, how to contact an inmate at Dodge Correctional Institute. And then there's this whole guide. So if you guys are interested, maybe another time we could try to figure out this, or if you want to just go on your own time. Let me just see what this says. Let me see. Is this taking you to this? Are you? Yeah, let me type this in and just do one more search and see if we can find Chrissy Poo. Okay. Take her all the way down to Wisconsin. Why won't it let me continue? Male. I think he's 36 to 40, but I don't remember how old he is. Do you guys remember how old he is? Oh, you got to log in or sign up to continue. Hold on a second. Let me do a quick sign up. I'm going to put an overlay up really quick, so in case any of my information pops up. Okay, let me see what we got here. All right, it wants me to fill it all out again. Hold on a second. Has any of Chris Watts's latest girlfriends been posting anything about him or anything like that? Enter name of jail or prison. I think he's at. Let's see. Dodge correction. Oh, there's 3 Dodge corrections though. All right, guys, you're going to have to help me out. Let me show you what it's asking me. I'll take this down. So now it wants Chris Watts's birth date. Do you guys happen to know Chris Watts's birth date offhand? Because I'm going to have to Google it. I know they went to Metallica. Oh, May 16th, 1985. See? May 16th, 1985. All right. Wait, what did I say? Was it 16th? May 16th? $1985. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Wait. Oh, yeah. Wait, why can't I get... What the heck? Why can't I just do 1985? There. All right, let's see what it does. Thinking, it's loading. We're waiting. Is it going to tell us anything? What do you guys think? Connect with Christopher Watts. Send letters, photos, and posts. It looks like you can connect to him over here at Dodge Correctional. Do you guys see that? Do you see that it would let me, if I wanted to, connect to him? So it looks like you can, and he is at Dodge Correctional. But let's keep going. Let's take a look at Alex from Alex Erickson. She went into it a day ago. Was Chris Watts transferred? And then she talked about Nicole Kessinger being spotted as well. It looks like she talked about, I don't know which one she talked about first. So let's go in and see which one she did first.
One of them right up. Hello, Amber.
Hey, hi, chat. Hello, Allie. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. To see things a little differently and be able to, I don't know. I just like to
think I want to say not put on blast, in my opinion.
Right.
And those photos from the supermarket, I think were not her at all, personally.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, they're talking about Kessinger being found. We will come back to that, but I'm trying to find the part where she talks about Chris being transferred.
Have fallen into a pit. Christopher Watts, March 9th of 2020. It's called Rescue Story. It says,
but that was late afternoon. The dad has a great big truck and it's gray. But this one was smaller. Okay. This one was smaller.
alleged truck owned by NK. What do you know?
And that alleged small truck is, I think, in the video that we're going to watch over on Rumble. Okay, I'm not really seeing her talk about Chris Watts.
Too, like Lori Vallow. I mean, they just finished jury
All right. I don't see her saying too much about it, but over on over on Reddit, there were questions. So I hear Chris Watts has been moved to another prison in Hillsborough. Anyone else got news on this? Fact checking. So it looks like Seeking the Truth with Dave replied, and he said Ronnie Watts has confirmed this to be untrue. Cato being Cato, trying to stay relevant. Happy Friday. And he did that 8 days ago. Here is a clip. Hold on. Just trying to make sure you're not seeing it. Oh, okay, here. Okay, so T and True Crime with whatever she calls herself, Sherilyn Cato. Christopher Watts has been something from Wisconsin prison. Today he was moved. So this is coming from Cato, and Cato is the one that plagiarized a book, you guys. So I always feel like I need to remind you of who Sherilyn Cato is. She rushed to get that book out. She could have like really done a good job on the book too, because she actually got in-depth interviews. But since then, and this is all my opinion, for entertainment purposes only, that I feel like she's stretching the truth, and this seems to be an outright turning to be false. So Ronnie Watts says he's still at Dodge. Talked to him earlier today. Get your facts straight. And here we just went through a whole thing where we're able to message him at Dodge Correctional if we were so chose to do so. So I am going to say I feel like this is definitely not true. There are, what is this? Oops. Kelly posted something here. I don't know what it was. It's true. Thanks to another Kelly from the channel Unravel. This has been verified, and I'm making a video about it right now. I don't know what the video is because it looks like the video's been taken down. But this person says, according to Wikipedia, Graham is a medium security prison, whereas Dodge, I don't think he was moved. But then they go into conversation about what type of prison is Hillsborough. Who was it they told me was at the prison? Is Hillsborough the prison that the Delphi Schmurder was at? Oh, Jeff. I interviewed Jeff, and he was at that prison, and he says it's a horrible prison. He says it's truly horrible, but I don't think Chris Watts is at that prison. And here is another Reddit where they are talking about it. 6 days ago, did Chris move to another prison? I can't find him in the Wisconsin prison inmate search any longer. And then this person says there are rumors a few days ago that he was being moved to a prison in Illinois, but then a few people said it was fake news. I just tried to search the inmate at Dodge Correctional Institute, and it did not find him, but I just searched it and it found it. If you want to write to him, but I don't know, maybe like if he has been moved, maybe that's not cut off for a few days and you can still write to him there. I don't, I guess it's not like proof positive. I don't think anybody truly knows where Chris is except for his family, and probably sometimes even they don't know at times, or they're not like calling Chris or Ronnie and Cindy and saying, hey, we're thinking about moving Chris, what do you think? That's just not happening, but they probably know better than any of us. So I just I always laugh when people come on and they like get angry, like, that's not true. Well, we don't know what's true at all, like, because we're not a Watts, and we're not in the I'm not in the circle. I'm just doing my research, you're doing your research, and we're all just sharing what we know. And yeah, so it looks like, in my opinion, he was not transferred. Here, this person says, Puddle Mom says, Chris Watts was not transferred. This is a rumor. It was part of Chris's plea deal that he not be listed publicly in any prison. This was a Colorado state case, so he should have been in the Colorado prison. And they often will not list, for lack of a better word, famous prisoners. They just don't list them. But it looks like if you want to write him, he is listed. He can be found. And I will put the link if you guys want these links and want to go look at it yourself. In the show notes. The DA nor his public defender ever bothered to explain to him the difference between a prison and a jail. Anyway, as part of the plea, he has been housed in Dodge in Wisconsin, but his name will not show up publicly on the list of inmates. So that is what I found out about Chris Watts and his prison whereabouts. Let me make sure I hit all of those things that I wanted to show you before we move on to Kessinger. So I want to move on to Kessinger, but I do want to go back to Alex Erickson and look at their take on Kessinger. Then we'll go over and look at the video of her truck and all of that good stuff. Let me come over into chat and see what you guys are saying. If you're saying anything at all. He's still in the same place. Yeah, I think he's still in the same place. And I think we kind of proved that. I hope we did. I hoped we helped debunk that he was moved. Jennifer at Crafted Evidence Podcast knows someone at Dodgers. I don't know who that is. So I do know somebody there. I sort of have a connection. I need to reach back out and see if I can pull them back in and see where they're at with maybe doing an interview, because I do have a connection with Dylan Talman. It's not a Chris Watts connection. I don't even know if I would want a Chris Watts connection. I guess I would only want it if they could just be a source and I wouldn't have to have any connection with Chris Watts at all. Because I have to tell you, I think Chris Watts is probably the, I'm sorry I said Dodger. I knew what you meant. I really try hard not to draw attention to people's spelling errors, because I know we all do them by mistake. So yeah, I've got a lot of people I need to reach back out to. This springtime is my hardest time of year. I went through a situation, and my post-traumatic stress flares up this time of year. Every year it flares up. So I'm just trying to get through these, like the spring, usually late April, I come out of it. So, but I am trying to set up some lives with other content creators. I like to work with Robert from Timeless Mysteries, and we are working on setting up a live to do together. And I am going to invite a few other Watts content creators, but I think Robert's going to host it over on his page, because I've done most of the lives on my page, and he wants to start doing some over on his page, which I'm really excited for him. And I hope you guys will subscribe to him. I'll put his link down in the channel show notes. So let's go back over here and talk about Nicole Kessinger and, oh my gosh, my nose is itching, and her being spotted. So do you guys feel like that was definitely Nicole Kessinger in this video? I feel like it is her. I mean, I probably am at, like, if I had to put a percent on it, hold on. If I had to, like, put how sure I am, I would probably say I am 99% sure. I always leave the 1% because I don't know, maybe it's not her, but I'm like 99 point. I'm even going to put the 99.9% sure that it's her. It looks like her. Somebody said that there's some audio, and it sounds like her. I have not been able to find a video of her walking yet, although somebody said there was a video of her walking in the interrogation. It must have been when she was walking in and out of the room, right? But I always thought that they started filming with her sitting in the room, but I don't know. If it's not her, it's her doppelganger, right? Yes, keep playing the live they had as they went over a bit more. Okay.
He apparently broke that news, I believe, at the time, which was years ago, and said that he tried to, like, get in on, like, the hearings or something where he was trying to get in.
Let me
Other
move
people,
back.
but that was where she was at, but she doesn't show up on their, like, regular searches. So, okay. Now I want to play. Okay. Now we're going to get into Nicole Kessinger. I've grabbed a few old clips. I think we'll look at those second. We'll talk about this recent sighting. Amber, I'm telling you, I know we've talked about, I know, because I remember saying to you, or you saying to me, or something like, how has no one seen her? How can she make it this long without anyone, like, seeing her speaking out?
It's been bizarre, hasn't it? 7 years.
It's been really bizarre, but I suspect that, I know somebody said, we watched some video at the beginning and they said they didn't think that that was her at the grocery store. I'm starting to think like maybe that was her at the grocery store now, because it was always rumored that she really hadn't left the area. You know, at first it was rumored that she had moved out of state or she was in witness protection, but then it started getting back that, like, she really hadn't left the area. So I'm starting, and then there's the same purse, a very similar purse at the grocery store as the purse that she was using in the police station. I'm starting to think that was her.
Years of this.
Yeah, and no old friends coming out, you know, or
yeah, I know. It really has been really mind-boggling. You know, with people speculating witness protection, which was debunked. She changed, let's see, the last things that we heard about her were what? When the Netflix documentary came out, I believe the same month that Netflix documentary came out, she changed her name in Colorado court. Scott Rice, if you guys know his channel, he's a lawyer in Colorado. He apparently broke that news, I believe, at the time, which was years ago, and said that he tried to, like, get in on, like, the hearings. Or
I remember that we watched that video. We've been doing a lot of Nicole Kessinger stuff, so we've watched that video within the last, like, I'd say 6 months. Okay, Junie, stop that. Stop.
Something where he was trying to get in because he's a lawyer and stuff in Colorado, and even he had, like, no access to it, so it was very, like, protected. Her name, we just don't know. There's been speculations that it's Nicole Miller. Nothing has been confirmed what her changed name to be.
But isn't it just another interesting coinkydink that she chose Miller? Like, if that was, I mean, because Miller came out before the Millers bought the house. So isn't it just weird that she chose Miller and then the Millers bought the house? I mean, just the coincidences.
It's just been so weird. And then I don't even know. I think, like, we looked up something like in one of those people type searches, and it had her working in Colorado still with her father. And then that was the last that we ever really had any type of knowledge, I guess you could say, of, you know, anything about her since the case.
Yeah, until now. Which, oh my God, I still can't believe that this is real. So Jordan says, I think she's in hiding for real. Okay. Hey, Diana. So first, I just want to say, she was spotted at this funeral service, and we're going to talk about who it is and the connection to her and that kind of thing. But first, I know some people were saying like, this is wrong. You shouldn't like hunt someone down this way at this private family event or whatever. And I just want to say, I just highly disagree. If you have your service streamed on the internet, you want people to see it. You know what I mean? That's a public streaming to the internet.
I agree too. I thought about it. Like, was I going to show this or wasn't I going to show it? And I thought, well, they put it on the internet. So it's being streamed on the internet. It's on the internet. I actually have a resentment towards people it being on the internet and then putting it behind a paywall or behind something where I have to join in order to see it. I have a resentment actually towards that because it's already out there on the internet, not towards people who put it out there on the internet. But I mean, when I say resentment, I'm not like walking around mad at anybody, because I really don't get mad at people if they disagree with me, because I don't care. I want you to believe what you want to believe, and what I think we all need to go with our guts on what we believe in. And if what your gut tells you something different, then I can agree to disagree. I'm fine with it. But I'm not against putting it up here on the internet because it was already out there.
It's still up. You know what I mean? So I think that's that. I mean, it is what it is. I disagree with that, and that's just where I stand. It's not, this is a public stream. So,
you know what really kind of, that's the thing, is like, we're not watching her funeral service per se. We were just skimming it to see if there was any more shots, you know what I mean, of NK. Like, right. So
I think people are just very quick to, if they don't agree with you, just say what you're doing is wrong. Well, okay. And are you paying my bills? Is my life going to revolve around you? I mean, we all need to start thinking for ourselves and doing what makes it feel good, right for us. Sometimes I get it right. Sometimes I don't get it right. Sometimes you get it right. Sometimes you don't get it right. But it's your channel. And yeah, I've already said how I feel about it. So I won't beat this dead horse anymore. I might, but I'm going to try to stop.
Yes, it is a woman's funeral service, but her service and herself was not put on blast, in my opinion.
Right.
And those photos from the supermarket, I think
I agree, because, and also where I haven't even said who the person is. I haven't even done research to find out who, like, I know that we talked about it. Like, maybe this friend was, because it was the friend that was supposedly that came and this. Okay, Junie, I know, honey. Can you just let me do this? Can we just maybe do this? And then, Mommy, I tried to play with you. I said, do you want to do treat training an hour before today? And you didn't want to do it. Yeah. Anyone want a baby bird that's going to turn 2 years old in 2 days? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. He's just been squawking today and got up really early. 3 o'clock in the morning early.
Not her at all, personally.
Yeah, I like, at the time I wondered, could it be? Wasn't that in Colorado too?
We never got verification. It was told to us that it was, but
okay.
I mean,
right.
Unless you show me like the location and that, you know how you can look at the information on your photos in your phone.
Yeah, yeah.
None of that was ever shared. The timestamp, the date it was taken, the location it was taken. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't believe. Especially, listen, there's just people in this case that lied. That flat out lied to us, lied to, I mean, you've dealt with people in this case who have lied to your face too.
Absolutely.
And went on your panels and stuff and spouted their lies and put our reputation.
I think they're talking about Cadel.
Almost at risk in a way.
Didn't she have Cadel on her show? I think a few people, I think even Scott Reich had Cadel on their show.
Our platforms that they were lying on.
I won't forget that, Amber, when she came on here and said she had been arrested. Oh my God almighty, I'll never forget that.
That was crazy. That was like a whole windstorm too when that took place. Everyone was like, what? Who was, like nobody knew what.
Oh yes, I remember Cadel came on and she said that they were about to arrest Nicole Kessinger. That never happened.
to think. And first person that put this image out there had his watermark all over it. Now, I know Plunder was like, oh, we're going to give credit to so-and-so. I'm not going to say so-and-so's name due to the fact that Shanann's family despises him. And he wore Chris's football jersey to the gravesite. So I have no problem giving credit where credit's due. If you want to give that guy credit, feel free.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I am mistaken. I think Cato was the one that started the rumor about Chris being transferred prisons. And Dave's channel was the one that put out the video of the funeral, and the other channel had it behind a paywall, or maybe it wasn't behind a paywall, but it was behind a you had to join it to see it. And I don't know how Dave got it.
It's your channel, but there were people that were like upset in my Facebook group that I shared images like this that didn't have the watermark. It's like, he doesn't mean this woman's funeral service, for one.
No.
For two, you wear the jersey out that Chris
Well,
wore.
I'm pretty sure it's up on the internet, so I don't think you have to use his watermark if you don't want to. I don't think it really matters. I mean, because the watermark is out there, and I don't think it matters.
To the gravesite, like, I'm not giving you credit.
No, and I'm not giving anybody credit but you, because I got this from you and it's a direct link.
Let's move this forward.
No idea what's going on. Nothing's going on, but a lot of people were sent the direct link to this. I didn't even know that person honestly had the pictures and stuff. So, I mean, that's not how oh my God, Mallory. Whew, that's not how I acquired it. So I won't be giving credit to just because someone else had it. I mean, lots of people have it at this point. So anyway. All right. So she was spotted at her friend's mother's funeral. Now, I'm going to wait for Amber, but I'm going to take you over here to this Venmo receipt that Amber actually sent me. You know, like I said, thank God that she gathered and had so many receipts for all of this.
This stuff is old too. I want to say Vanessa was first to kind of grab these Venmo screenshots years ago. Like, I'm saying maybe early 2019. And you guys know that you can go to anyone's Venmo, and if it's public, then that's where you see these images.
Yeah, I've heard that it's like maybe Danielle is actually Daniel. Like maybe it's a male. Have you heard that too? That it wasn't even actually Danielle, the person's name, it was Daniel?
These transactions, I should say.
Right. Yes, Dog Defender, the co-burgers guilt, and then the pro burgers. Yes. And then Darlene, you're right. So this is her friend Danielle, and this was a Venmo between the two of them. Nicole pays Danielle August 12th of 2018. So right before. Wow. I didn't even pay attention to the date when you first sent these. So here's Danielle with Nicole's dog.
Well, I mean, that would kind of blow that out of the water. It definitely looks like a female, but I mean, trans people look more female than females these days. Some.
And then we have Nicole and her dog. So this is a long time, a friend that goes way back. And you were mentioning her being mentioned in one of the interviews.
Okay, so yeah, apparently the dogs do look different. So I don't know if you got my message that it might be a different dog, but that is her friend Danielle. And we have.
Do they look different? Oh yeah, one has a white. Well, I mean, but did the dog age and get a white muzzle? I don't know. Let me see.
Each other. And if anyone remembers, no.
Ooh, I wonder if she, I think she probably tried to protect her identity, but also because she didn't want any of her friends mess with, apparently, at all, even talk to. But I did not get your message that it was a different dog. I have been like rushing around doing a bunch of stuff here at the house and just, I didn't see it, but now I see it, that it is. But regardless, this is Danielle and this is Nicole. Yes. So it's her mom. So let's go back to this. Oh my gosh. I'm going to rewind just a little bit and let it play. Wait, let me turn down the. So I went to that timestamp where you're supposed to be able to hear her, and I couldn't hear it. Could you hear it?
I didn't really get a chance to scope it out like really well. I mean, we could do it. We can listen right now if you want.
Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Turn up the volume.
Okay. And so here she is. And she has put on a little weight. I think they were saying she might have had a baby. So that's whatever. I mean, as women, we put on weight, lose weight. I don't have
I
nothing to
can't
say.
tell you how many times I've gained and lost the same 30 to 50 pounds in my life. It's been just a constant, and I've never had the baby. It's just what happens as a human being. I'm not even just going to say a woman, as a human being.
About that, but
We
it's
grow
certainly
and
her.
we
Like,
expand.
there's no mistaking this might be her. That's her.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I really just can't see how somebody will say it's not her, although I've heard and seen people say that it's not her. You know, like there's definite differences, they say, but I don't know. Like, I think they went in with the teeth and the ears and stuff.
Okay, so let me just look for 1 second. I'm going to take us back to, I'm going to take us over here for just a second and get that timestamp because I don't want to accidentally show it. So just hold on. Because I forwarded the messages to myself. Let's see here.
I
So
tried
we're
to
going
get rid
to
of the
5132, and it says you can hear some.
tried to get rid of the echo that was in my I don't think it was in my microphones because I was doing two different microphones and I heard the echo in both of them. I think it's in the space that I'm sitting in, so I moved stuff around and I added some things. Is the echo still there, you guys?
Someone say, I don't know why I'm struggling so hard with this box, and it sounds like her, like people are recognizing that to be her voice. 5132. Wait, obviously I wouldn't have showed it on this one. What am I thinking? I'm crazy. I'm sorry, Amber. You're like, oh, sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I thought you were going to play like a comparison. Like, this is what her voice sounds like. Let's see if.
Well, the topic was Chris Watts transferred prisons? We went through that in the beginning, and now we're coming back into Nicole Kessinger. Is this at her funeral? And I have another video we're going to go through. Somebody says they have found her car and her where she lives.
Well, I do have that. So I have two right here. Like, okay, let's do that. Here,
Because her voice is unmistakable. You know what I mean?
should I do the one of her in this voicemail? I also had grabbed her video chat to him, but I guess it didn't load. You know, from the sand, like the,
oh yeah,
where she films that video.
That's
I've
funny.
got that somewhere too. But okay, I wonder if this is the voicemail, and she's kind of changing her voice to make it more, I don't know, whatever you would call it. So I wonder if that's a good comparison, or would her interview be better? What do you think, Amber?
Can we pick one?
Yeah, I feel like her interview.
I'm afraid to pop it forward too far because I see Harry Fan is telling me it's any second now, I think. I want to see if I can hear
Oh my
her.
word.
I heard it that time.
Wait.
Yeah, I heard the way she said box. That was really all that kind of stood out. I mean, I don't have my earphones on, which I'm sure if you guys have headphones on, you might be able to hear even better. But I heard it, and now I don't know. I'd like to hear it again just to.
My earphones are broke, so I'll leave it play. Maybe you guys can hear it. Put your earphones on.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to unmute. I agree with Amber. I heard
okay.
box, and I don't know when I muted back, but the volume's boosted. All right, let's.
All right. I'm like, I really can't hear a thing. Okay. Hopefully we'll hear something now.
Listen again. I'm so sorry, you guys. Here we go.
I was like leaning in, like, why don't I hear it?
I was leaning so far in. Okay.
Okay.
I still don't hear anything.
That's her.
Yep. The way she says, I don't know why. Like, it sounded
I
just
didn't
like
hear
one of her
anything.
interviews. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh.
And like, we know it's her. So this is just extra. There were people who were still kind of saying, it doesn't look like her. I don't think it's her. And then
could someone send me the link to this video so maybe I can get it played and I can hear something, because I don't hear anything.
Somebody commented, you can hear her voice because it's just so recognizable that, you know, they kind of like backed it up. Like, no, it's her. Listen at this minute point.
I didn't hear anything.
Yes, it's definitely her. It's very, very quiet, you guys. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat.
Oh,
You guys can click on your phone with your earbuds, and that might be better. Don't you think that's just the best thing for me to do?
let me see if I can see it dropped in the chat. Is there a chat? Let's see.
And it's at this timestamp, or what do you think, Amber?
Yeah, just share it and people can just listen for the. I mean, it's undeniably her without having to hear the voice, but
let me see.
I think that kind of solidifies, like, you don't forget a girl's voice when it's like that.
Yep, I heard it for sure. Okay, share on Facebook, share on Twitter. We don't want to do either one of those. Wait. No, that was her. Okay, copy. You guys, somebody, if you do click in, let me know. Make sure that it works.
She hasn't shared it yet.
Oh, Melissa. Okay.
Yay.
Hello. Which you're on camera. Do you know that?
Still don't.
Okay. Hi.
Hey. But you couldn't see it because I kept up the comment.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'm not used to being on my phone.
We sound good.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
All right. Let me take you over to it and let's see if we can. Oh, it's unavailable. Dang, they took it down, you guys. Yeah, it's unavailable now, so we won't be able to listen to it. I will try to get, oh gosh, everything's breaking. It's like Mercury retrograde. My mic is off, my headphones are gone, and I just, if you guys would like to support us, help us maybe get some new technology, that would help us out tremendously. I have put up there that you can hit the $ button or the thanks button on YouTube. We take Cashapp at Parawomenradio, and we also have the Dragonfly memberships. Those are all ways that you can support us a little extra. I will try to get some enhanced audio on this to see if we can listen. I am almost positive it's her.
Oh my gosh, Melissa, we were playing this timestamp at the end where you can hear her voice. She says something about a box. I don't know if you'll be able to hear on here. I'm going to play it one more time just to let you try, okay? It's at 51:30. Let's see.
She says, I don't know why I'm struggling so hard with this box.
I think they took it down because people on the Watts case can be impossible. They can make people's lives really difficult. And I'm sure that's what's happened to the church, that they've probably been inundated with stuff and they're just like, I don't want to deal with it. And they're just taking it down. I would suspect that. It seems like there's some cases that people just go absolutely crazy on. And I've noticed the Watts case seems to be one of them. Another case that people go crazy about is the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case. They just lose their mind and they don't know how to treat one another. And they treat others in an unhinged way. And I suspect that's what's happened, but I don't know that for a fact.
Something along those lines. But you can just hear, like, it's her. It's her.
Yes.
Oh, it does. You can hear it. Okay. Oh, all right. Now I just want to say I can hear it now. So it must have been something in her audio.
That was better. I had it turned down. Was that louder for you guys?
That was the best.
Okay. Did you hear it, Melissa?
Yeah, I heard it.
So, yeah, and she's at the very beginning of the clip. I
want to go back and listen again.
I'm not used to being on my phone.
We sound good.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Hi. So, oh my gosh, Melissa, we were playing this timestamp at the end where you can hear her voice. She says something about a box. I don't know if you'll be able to hear on here. I'm going to play it one more time just to let you try. Okay. It's at 51:30. Let's see.
She says, I don't know why I'm struggling so hard with this box or something along those lines, but you can just hear, like, it's her. It's her.
Yes. Agree.
Yeah. That's her.
That was better. I had it turned down. Was that louder for you guys?
That was the best.
Okay. Did you hear it, Melissa?
It has the exact way, her tone and her inflection. That's her.
Yeah, I heard it.
So, yeah, and she's at the very beginning of the clip. I dropped the link in the chat. Here we go. So, Melissa, we were talking like it's been years where we've said many times, like, why is this person like no one's seen her, no one's heard from her, no old friends have spoken out, no old boyfriends, like nothing. It's weird. And now finally she's been spotted.
Yeah, it's a big thing for anyone who's been following the case for this long, because there was like a huge.
I think it is a big thing, and I've seen a lot of people, like I've been called a vulture, Nicole Kessinger vulture, because I am interested in her being spotted. A lot of people are saying, the I guess they're called shiners. The shiners are like, just let it drop. Don't talk about Nicole Kessinger. The root checks have said that they've got the right person in prison. Just leave it all go. Well, then why are you on here? Like, why is it okay to support some parts of the case and not other parts? Just let people look at what they want to look at. You look at what you want to look at, and I'm going to look at what I want to look at. And then if there's something we want to look at together, then yay. And if it's not something we want to look at together, then let's go on our way. You can tell I'm a little irritated by all this. Like, you shouldn't be doing this. You should be doing that. Don't do this. Do that. Do this. No, not that. It's just like, oh. Anyone else feel that way sometimes about the Watts case? It's like so much push and pull and drama. And we're just all basically on a case trying to do the same thing and figure it out in our own ways.
Massive hunt for NK, and now it's finally like we know she was out there, but to actually have eyes on her for the first time, it's huge.
Yeah, it is. I wonder, do you think she's like, oh shit, now that she's been
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she's happy about it at all.
Oh,
Every time I open up, anything true crime right now, everyone's talking about this. I just saw Annie Elise did something for her podcast talking about this right here.
This case is so popular that even the big YouTubers like Annie Elise that got her start, I would say, on this case, and a few other YouTubers will still circle back to this case. And I noticed they do it when they want an increase in their ratings. But yeah, so it is a huge case, and I don't think anybody's going to stop talking about it anytime soon. And somebody also, I was listening to a video, I think it was the House Huddle, and they were talking about why we will probably never get a interview from Nicole Kessinger. And I guess I should have kept it up, but let me see. This is like just from what I remember. She said something about like when you have immunity, there's certain types of immunity, and it sounds like she probably got some kind of immunity and that she's never allowed to talk about the case again. And if she does talk about the case, then the immunity that she had will be gone. So it is suspected that she will never talk about this case, because if she does, then she will be open to being re-interviewed, and she never wants that to happen.
Oh my gosh, crazy. And here's a picture that Amber made. I think you made it, or you grabbed it anyways. That was
anything that I've shared is coming from my Facebook group. So there's a bunch of web sleuths in that case, or in that group, that are obsessed with this case. So this actually was it's from my group, but other people have put it together.
Okay. But look, I mean, there's no denying it's her. And again, like I said, I think they said she had a baby. Honestly, to me, if I go back here, she doesn't look like she looks good. It's just her face looks a little more full. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
whatever.
Exactly.
I mean, if she just had a baby within the last year or two, she looks like she just had a baby within the last year or two. She's older and she's growing. And I mean, she has lost that 20-year-old look. That's for sure. She doesn't have that look anymore. And yeah. But I do want to compare the way she walks. I need to find her walking somewhere.
What is more noticeably, I don't know, something that stuns me more is her lack of trying to change her look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is interesting. That's a good point. She really has done nothing to change the way she looks. Her hair is the same. she's just a little heavier. I mean, she's done nothing.
A good point. Like,
Yeah.
Like like it was kind of like, okay, yeah, she gained weight, because her and Chris, who has also gained weight and changed his looks, even in the prison interview, he looked completely different, and that was only a couple months later. But the way, I mean, look, her hair, the same part. That was what we're talking about. It's like the colic of her hair and the length of it, the color of it. I mean, it's not like she's like tried to change, so that she isn't recognized. So, the other thing about this whole,
I would say that maybe Nicole Kessinger has a thyroid problem. Looking at her neck, I know that is a sign of having a thyroid issue when your neck kind of does that. So, I mean, she could, and her eyes bulge a little bit, so she could have a thyroid issue.
thing is, this was shot in Montana, like I was telling you guys, and we don't know if she lives there in Montana now, and that's why, she's here. We know why she's there, because it's her friend. But did she fly in, or is she just local there?
Didn't she talk about like going to Montana before, like loving it there or something like that? Like there were pictures of her there or something.
She was part of some oil company or something. You guys remember this Sunburst Console? What was it called? Gosh, I have it like screenshotted probably somewhere. But anyways, that was in Montana. But that was like years ago, before the case even broke. So
If her friend's family lived there, that's probably why she would be there at the funeral doing that. And Danielle, but I don't remember her talking about loving Montana. So this is good information.
Has had ties to Montana, but I don't know if any of it besides this has been since after the case. I don't know.
Well, and also, oh, sorry, Amber.
No, you're fine. I'm talking to myself. Let me just look this up.
No.
Well, I saw a couple of comments saying, even if she's gained weight or aged, her nose or chin wouldn't change. Let me tell you something. I think it's very
That's
obvious.
actually not true. Your nose does change and your chin changes too. I've noticed my nose and chin is different. And
that is uncanny.
My ears too are changing.
But if she has had a baby, let me tell you something. Being pregnant and having a baby does miraculous things to a woman's face. I don't know how the hell it has the ability to change the structure, but it does. Don't ask me how. Not always for the best. Usually not for the best either.
People's noses grow and they get weird as they get older. So I don't know. I think that your face does change. Maybe even your ears, like the cartilage in your ear kind of dissolves and then your ears change a little bit.
Saying that in her case versus you'd be surprised. So if she had a baby, I'd be curious how long ago, because if it's anytime recent, a lot of times what you'll see is face changes with the hormones and with just giving birth.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so it's Sunburst Consulting, and I believe Jim Malone is tied to that, and so I believe was Danielle, and that is in Montana. I think NK was tied to it as well, but of course her name isn't coming up because she's scrubbed everything of herself on the internet and changed her name. So I don't know. Again, we don't know if she lives there now or if she's just in for the funeral.
Who said she was married though?
Yeah, because do you remember before I had the baby, I want to say before the election time, around the time that Rourke had his podcast with his wife. Does anyone remember that?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Around that time, there was also an article that came out, which my channel covered it and Scott Rice covered it. And it was talking about NK dating a younger guy. Does anybody remember this?
No.
It was less than a year ago.
I don't remember this at all. Do any of you guys remember this?
Remember it?
And then all of a sudden the election takes place for Rourke and all that, and he's still in his okay, so Tess remembers it. I'm telling you, I cannot remember what live stream it is, but you can't find the article. It's like scrubbed now.
Look, Tony says, I remember it. There's a lot of stuff that used to be out that has been scrubbed. You know what I mean?
You guys remember that interview of the wife that Nicole went to the same gym and she said that Nicole would go after the husbands at the gym? I can't find that interview anywhere. And I've talked about that interview repeatedly and I can't find that anywhere.
Crazy. Okay, Jen wants to hear it again. Let's play it again.
But like, why scrub something that's recent? Like, I get it, scrub stuff before the case, but this came out like last year. And then like it said that she was dating a younger guy. And then all of a sudden the whole article's gone. I don't know. It's so
Well,
bizarre.
it's interesting who got who to scrub what. Do you and why would somebody scrub something for Nicole Kessinger? It sounds like maybe Nicole has some kind of influence. I don't want to. Let's go forward, and they're going to listen to it again. But let's see what else they're saying.
Smaller.
Alleged truck owned by NK. What do you know about that, Amber?
Oh, okay. I think they're talking about the truck now. So let's go forward. Let's keep going. I will put the link if you want to watch that entire video. Let's head over to Rumble. And I'm pretty sure this Alice Down the Rabbit Hole is over on YouTube, but I happened to find this video over on Rumble. And this is Nicole Kessinger found. I will put the links to everything we watch in the description. Please go over and show each channel some love. Okay, so it looks like here is where she used to live. It's a Colorado limited liability. It's a business address. It looks like it's in, what does that say? Aurora, Colorado. Here is the truck. Let me go forward. This is supposedly NK's dirty truck. On the street that so it looks like maybe she was found at her parents' home. Let's keep going. Oh, I don't know how comfortable I feel about putting the parents' address out there, though, to be honest. Is this the parents' business or is it the parents' home? I don't recommend. Oop, there's a person walking out there. Did that look like NK's truck to you? I will put the link for the truck. Here it is. Let me see. There. Right here. Because remember the neighbor saying that that silver truck drove by the night of the schmurders, or there was a truck like that parked? Do you think that was NK's truck? I think they start to talk about it a little bit. Let's see what they say.
Oh, that's interesting. It's been forever since I heard it. What did she say exactly? I can't remember.
It's been forever since I heard it, but in a few minutes I could grab it and send it to you.
Okay, yeah, that'd be awesome. And then, okay, here is, they were writing that book together. Chris agreed to this book coming out and sent Dylan a letter in his own handwriting that talked about her like having more to do with it. It never flat out said in black and white in his handwriting one. Now Dylan goes on to say he does flat out say to him in black and white, but that's just hearsay. But this letter, I mean, he thought this was going to come out in their little book about the Bible. And it just, that adds another element. Is Chris really in jail, like speaking out that, I don't know. I don't know.
And Dylan isn't even the only inmate to come out and state that. Remember David Carter?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he got to the point where he's on the phone with CBI Tammy. He recorded all this. I've included it in my documentary because it's just mind-boggling to me that it went down this way. She, says, oh, so Chris said that? He said that she was involved. Okay, well, would you be interested in doing a lie detector test? And he says, yeah, no problem. And she says, okay, well, we'll get that set up and we'll start from there. Let me give you a call back. he gave that voicemail or that phone conversation recording to AD. He put it on his channel. Soon as it goes on YouTube, Tammy called him back and said that he had no credibility and that he was interested.
Yes, I forgot about that, Amber. Oh.
Interesting. Do you think they went after AD because he dug into something too close to Kessinger and they found out about it and they don't want, I mean, is this another reason why they don't want us digging in, the root checks don't want us digging into Kessinger? Is there something there? Because why did Tammy Lee call the armchair detective and AD? Is that who they're talking about? Oh, I gotta move forward.
I don't know. It's very weird. It's like a lot of this stuff she said makes no sense. That's why it's so hard to let this one go, I think, because things just don't add up or make sense or feel like normal, you know, how people would act in this case, in a situation like this. Like, for instance, we talked, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you and I had just talked about, Melissa, her staying on the call for that, speaking to the detective. Like, what?
There's always going to be a lot of pieces to this that doesn't sit right with me. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean that there's a full-on conspiracy necessarily. It depends on which way you want to look at it. But even if one thing is a lie, it'll shift all of the pieces. So none of the pieces are fitting, you know? But there's always going to be something, and I don't know how tiny it is. It could be very tiny. But something isn't sitting right, and it'll never sit right with me. I feel like there is more. And a lot of people I see say that, oh, well, she was fully investigated. No, actually, everything stopped the moment Chris took a plea deal. That's it. It stopped.
Yeah.
Yep. Even Tammy said she wished they could have went further, but they didn't.
Exactly. And Shanann's family has commented, like, you know, we don't really like the conspiracy talk, which I understand. If you guys want to reference the discovery files, then you can talk about the case. They came out saying that years ago. So we go through the discovery files and you'll see nothing was finished. The federal fingerprint scan, you know, the vomit at Serby. We don't know whose vomit it was. No DNA analysis in this entire case. Like, we don't even know what was found in the fingernail clippings that were taken at the autopsies.
How crazy is that, Amber, right?
It's nuts. And, you know, it's just unfinished. That's the only word that I have for it.
Completely
you know, they got their
unfinished.
confession, they got their conviction, and
I envy those people that can believe the official narrative and be like, okay, case closed. They got their guy. We don't have to worry about anything else, you know? Oops, I didn't mean to move it back over to Rumble. Sorry about that, guys. There we go.
He signed the plea deal, and so many people have also commented, because Tammy herself has stated this, you know, the clock stopped when he signed the plea deal. So many people have pointed out, like, since when does that stop an investigation?
Right. No, Harlot, you know, and even here's the problem. They had to go back and the closest to the story we get is when they went back and did another interview with him. But
did they even figure out who pooed out there at the site? Did they even like do any research? Because I know they found vomit and poo out there.
And the things that he shared doesn't make sense when you take the evidence and you apply it. You know, some pieces can make sense, but then there are other massive pieces that it's like, wait, that's not possible. Like, how would that have happened? And so it just leaves you wondering.
Yeah. Well, also think about this, and I don't have the books because I gave them away in a giveaway after I read them. I'm looking now, though, for this email because Dylan, when I interviewed Chris's at one point best friend.
I'm looking for Dylan Talman's books as well. If anybody has them that I could possibly borrow them, or if you have it on PDF, if you could just email me at parawomenradio@gmail.com. It's right there on the screen running across the ticker. The email is right there. If you could help me out, I would really appreciate it.
They were writing that book together. Chris agreed to this book coming out and sent Dylan a letter in his own handwriting that talked about her like having more to do with it. It never flat out said in black and white in his handwriting one. Now,
I had Dylan write me, or he wanted me to write him. He gave me his contact information to write, but then you'd have to pay for it. This was like 6 months ago, and I think he was moved again. So I'll try to work into it and see if I can get inside contact information. I just don't have a PO box, but now that they're doing it on the tablets, I don't feel like I will have to have a PO box because we'll be contacting electronically. Although I know that when you fill out all this information at this site, you have to give them your complete legal name. So I don't know if they actually give the inmate your legal name or if that's just for their references. I'm going to have to figure that out too, because I don't want to write to anybody and them have my real name.
And goes on to say he does flat out say to him in black and white, but that's just hearsay. But this letter, I mean, he thought this was going to come out in their little book about the Bible, and it just, that adds another element. Is Chris really in jail, like speaking out that, I don't know. I don't know.
And Dylan isn't even the only inmate to come out and state that. Remember David Carter?
Yeah.
I
And
don't remember
he
David
got to
Carter.
the point where
I don't remember David Carter. Oh, is David Carter the one that unalived the family and kidnapped the girl that he was besties with? Is that who David Carter was? Remember Chris being friends with that guy in the beginning? It was the only guy that would talk to him.
he's on the phone with CBI Tammy. He recorded all this. I've included it in my documentary because it's just mind-boggling to me that it went down this way. She, says, "Oh, so Chris said that? He said that she was involved. Okay, well, would you be interested in doing a lie detector test?" And he says, "Yeah, no problem." And she says, "Okay, well, we'll get that set up and we'll start from there. Let me give you a call back." He gave that voicemail or that phone conversation recording to AD. He put it on his channel. Soon as it goes on YouTube, Tammy called him back and said that he had no credibility and that he was interested.
Yes, I forgot about that, Amber. Oh my gosh, so much time has went by. It's
so much stuff
has
happened in this case.
How do you ask someone, okay, would you be willing to take a polygraph? And then just because, which I wish he never did, like share that audio with AD, because what would have happened if, she didn't cancel?
Yeah. Okay, I found one of them. Here's, and this is in Chris's handwriting. Actually, let me just screenshot it and pull it up on the screen. So hold on just a second. This way we're not, because yeah, oh my gosh, I forgot all about that recording of Dylan and Tammy. I mean, I don't know. It seems to me like, though, it's never gonna, unfortunately, I
have that recording.
Do you do?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, that's interesting. It's been forever since I heard it. What did she say exactly? I can't remember.
It's been forever since I heard it, but in a few minutes I could grab it and send it to you.
Okay, yeah, that'd be awesome. And then, okay, here is, oh yeah, I have this pulled up too. Look, remember when the neighbor was saying that there was a truck outside that wasn't usually there?
Anything different over the last, 2 days, 3 days? Odd vehicles, odd noises, odd lights.
There was a truck out here yesterday. In fact, that's why I thought you were here yesterday. Maybe someone complained about that I hadn't seen before.
What type of truck?
It was kind of almost a steel gray.
Okay.
Don't ask me to make
Okay.
here, but that was late afternoon.
Right there. So there's the truck. And this was the truck I just showed you. It looks like the same truck, but I mean, you'd have to get the two pictures and really compare them probably. But
The dad has a great big truck and it's gray. But this one was smaller. This one was smaller.
this one has 2 doors. Did the other one have 2 doors on it? Oh yeah, it did. I think it's the same truck, you guys.
Alleged truck owned by NK. What do you know about that, Amber?
Okay. So remember when she owned that LLC, the Satya Consulting or whatever?
Yes.
Okay. So before she scrubbed that, people grabbed this screenshot. So when you look up a business on Google, it'll show like the picture of the front of the business and stuff.
Yeah.
Her address was associated with the business. So this address belongs to her family. And that was the car that was in the screenshot. The address that was tied to the company that
So this was the address this was the video that we just looked at.
The company that she owned.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes. So, and then a lot of people say, well, Betty said that it didn't have that camper on the back, because the cop like asks her in the description, and she says no to that question or something. But it's like, you can remove
campers
Yeah.
really easy.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. A lot of people take those on and off depending on what they're doing or using the truck for.
Exactly.
Okay. So here are these letters from Chris. I just grabbed a couple that these were supposed to be in that book. So this one says, I just grabbed because I saw it mentioning her, I thought. It says, I have backslidden. I'm like a sheep gone astray from the flock and have fallen into a pit. Christopher Watts, March 9th of 2020. It's called Rescue Story. It says, the snare of the enemy has entrapped me. The words of a harlot has brought me low. Her flattering speech was like drops of honey that pierced my heart and soul. Little did I know, all her guests were in the chamber of death. The lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. How did I not see it? How did I let this happen? The blessings you have bestowed upon me were right in front of me, and still I followed the perfume of a strange woman. The web of the enemy squeezes around my heart and is cocooning my soul to the point of suffocation. The enemy and his Jezebel mock and scourge me as they celebrate another capture. But oh, that man would praise the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. You did not leave me captive or condemned. Let's see. You opened my eyes. Because we have some more. Hold on. So that's all that's in that one about her. Let me see this.
We believe we'll put our opinions on there, but it's presenting the evidence to you.
Million years did I think we would be apart. Oh, sweet child of mine, those blessings are gone now. Taken at the...
I mean, Chris Watts is no poet. No poet. His poetry is just lyrics or something he got pre-chat GBT maybe. Holly thinks it's the same truck. Hi Val, how are you? So I think it's probably her. I think it's the same truck. I think that was her at the funeral. I don't think Chris Watts has been switched prisons. And oh, there was one more thing I wanted to look at before we go. We were having some audio problems. We had talked about the man from Finland showing up at the... Hold on a second. The man from Finland showing up at the recheck house, and I wanted to take a quick look at that before we go. But where did I have it? Did I just click off of it? Let me see. I think I clicked off of it. Yeah, I did. Maybe we will look at that another time, I guess. Oh, actually, let's look at this instead. I thought this was interesting in trying to figure out if Chris Watts was in prison or not. I found this video from County Office Law, and it's what happened to Chris Watts in prison. I wanted to look at that really quick.
Welcome to County Office, your ultimate guide to local government services and public records. Let's get started.
What happened to Chris Watts?
Holly says so much evidence against her. She must have had a plea deal and somehow they kept it hush hush. Why would they cover for her? Couldn't that be public knowledge? I don't know. I was saying earlier, I was watching House Huddle, and they mentioned that there are certain type of plea deals that you can get, and it can be a limited plea deal as long as she doesn't talk ever after the case. Like what she said will stand. Like they will never question her again. But if she goes out there and starts talking, then she can be re-questioned. Like the case can be reopened, and they think that possibly that's what she is what's happening. I have met recently a person that is a PI and also does research. I think she was a lawyer or a research something, but I'm going to ask her about it and see what she says about this type of thing. If Nicole Kessinger will, if there's ever a possibility, maybe she has her own channel. She might even join us. I'll see if she'll want to come on and talk about the case. But I think she only does cases where she feels like she's actually helping someone. So I don't know if she wants to talk about old cases like this, but I'll see what they say. Oh, good. I'm glad you're good. I'm okay. I am recovering from a flare up, autoimmune flare. So I'm tired one day, okay the next, tired the next day. So, but I've just realized I think that's going to be my life from now on out. Like, I'm going to get sick and then I'm going to get better and then I'm going to get sick and I'm going to get better. And it's just going to be an endless cycle of that.
Watts in prison. If you're curious about what life has been like for Chris Watts since he was incarcerated for the tragic murder of his wife and daughters, here's what you need to know. Chris Watts is currently serving his life sentence at the Dodge Correctional Institution in Waupun, Wisconsin. He was transferred there in late 2018 due to security concerns after his crimes in Colorado. Watts pleaded guilty to murdering his pregnant wife, Shanann, and their two daughters, Bella and Celeste, in August 2018. In prison, Watts does not receive any special treatment or privileges. On his 39th birthday, for example, he spent the day like any other inmate, with no visitors or special celebrations. Watts has had a few run-ins with the prison authorities. In 2020, he was penalized for engaging in unauthorized communication and transferring unauthorized property, which resulted in the loss of his phone and canteen privileges for a period. In 2021, he was found in possession of contraband and disobeyed orders, leading to the loss of access to electronics for 10 days.
I think the contraband was when the undies were found in his
Confinement, but is instead in general population. However, it
has been reported that he is in general population, but it's been reported that he's in a special unit of disabled people. So it's like it's a protective custody type unit, but it's general population.
Considered an outcast among the other inmates due to the nature of his crime.
And it looks here like they're saying his daily routine includes working out once or twice a day and serving as a custodian. He was the meat man for a little while, but he has since been moved over to custodial duties.
Outrage. However, the prison authorities have...
It's been reported that he keeps family photos in his cell, which has caused public outrage. He identifies as a man of God. He corresponds with multiple women and uses the prison commissary to buy stamps and paper for letters. Here are some helpful resources that they're giving out. And I will put the links to all the resources that I found for you. And if you want to try to locate Chris Watts on your own. I think that's all I have. Let me come over into chat and see what you guys are saying. So much evidence against her. She must have had it. Oh, we already read that. Until they charge her, it's not over. Souls can't rest with the ones played a part are charged. Then they can. And the one that the neighbor's kid got the tag number and threw a beer can out. I don't know what you're talking about there. Okay, guys, I think that's all I have for today. We are planning some more Watts lives. I am getting together a live next week, probably with a few other channels. We're going to go over whether Chris Watts abused the girls before the unalivings. Was there any evidence that he was being abusive prior? I've been wanting to get this one out for a while. And I am going to team up with a few other channels and do that with you guys. And I'm working on getting some more interviews of some prison people that were in prison or prison staff. I'm going to work on getting that Dodge correction together. If there's also this Wednesday, I have another live coming up with Rose Z. We're going to take one of the YouTube subscribers sent us some stuff. They want us to look at the night of the Schmurders, the walking back and forth from the I want to say jail, but it's the garage. Sorry, the garage. They believe that they have some evidence that they sent us that proves that it was Nichol Kessinger walking back and forth. I'm always into looking at the evidence and doing a more thorough look. But that evidence, I just think it's really hard to see. But they did send us some new stuff that they feel was crucial, and we're going to take a look at it. Yep. Nope. Yeah, I think we've pretty much put that out there that Chris Watts was not moved. We've looked at a number of things that are saying that he wasn't moved, including one where Ronnie Watts posted on the internet that he was not moved. So he wasn't moved. And you can also write to him. I have, if you go earlier in the live, I have some sites that we've gone to where if you want to write to him, you can still write to him over in Wisconsin. So oh no, I don't think it was rude. I feel like we're all just trying to figure it all out, and would love to we would love to team up with you too. I just have heard about you. Somebody mentioned you earlier in the chat. I team up with Timeless Mysteries. Oh, you team up with I know who you are. You're okay, sorry. I know who she is because I watched Robert. I guess I didn't realize that that's who crafted evidence. Yes, love Robert. Love you guys. Love you guys teaming up. I think it's wonderful. And have been enjoying watching your guys' lives. So really support Robert, and I support anybody that Robert supports. He's a good guy. Hi, Rosie. Do you think you'll make videos again? I miss talking to you. I know Rosie was here with us on Wednesday, and she says she's coming back this Wednesday. So hopefully she is, because I love talking to Rosie too. She's a lot of fun to talk to, a lot of good insights. And I don't know what crafted evidence is. I don't know what your name is, but I'm looking forward to talking to you some more, because I believe I've heard you say you were an actual journalist. So that's very interesting to me. Okay, guys, I really, really appreciate you guys coming in here. And maybe crafted evidence. I am working on doing a live with Robert and pulling in another content creator. Maybe you would be interested in joining us. I don't know, maybe. Okay, so I'm gonna go for sure. Jennifer. Okay, it's nice to meet you, Jennifer. I'm Amy. All right, guys, I'm gonna go for realsies. Have a great Friday. If nobody's told you this today, and even if they have, I'm still going to tell you this because I am so grateful for you guys. You have certainly made a difference in my life. And I just want to tell you that I love you guys so much. Actually, you know what? I didn't get my outro queued up. That's why it took me so long to get it going in the beginning. So let me get my outro together. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Check to see if you're subscribed, because a huge portion of you guys are not subscribed, but you're returning, but you're not subscribing. So it's just a free way to help me out. And anything that you can do for me is really, really appreciated. Also, have you considered joining our Dragonfly program? That is our membership program over on YouTube channel. I release most of my videos early to the Dragonflies. We have some emojis We do special lives. It's just like a way that I can help give you some more added content. And as we go deeper into the Watts live research, I thought that maybe I would come live and do some research with my dragonflies, just hang out with you while I'm researching the case and talk to you and see what we can find. And maybe that'll be a little added thing that I do with my dragonflies. Well, here, let me show you. I made a little something about it. And if you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribed? I would really, really, really love to have you as a power subscriber. If you really like my content, be sure to become a dragonfly, and that's our membership, and it's $2.99 a month. I release all my videos early. We have special emojis over in the chat room. I kind of share things ahead of time with my dragonflies, and I go live sometimes just for the dragonflies. It's a way that I can support you guys and give you more content, and it's a way for you to support our channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I would love to have you. Okay, guys, I'm going to go for real now. If nobody's told you this, and I do have the link to the dragonfly up in the show notes, and I will put it down in the comments on our way out. If nobody's told you this today, and even if they have, I'm still going to tell you this. I love and appreciate you guys so, so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Carefully strumming this old guitar, words rolling out into the fire. Never ask why my heart burned blue.
Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there. Bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help me.
Here in the darkness, I hear my cue. Time to find some solitude. Here where my soul bleeds openly, deep in the heart